afternoon. Thanks for tuning into This Is Now. It's primary day in 5 states. And while both President Biden and former President Trump have already secured their party's presidential nominations, today's primaries could play a big role in the future of each campaign.
Mr. Trump will be casting his ballot in Florida today as he deals with financial and legal issues, while President Biden heads west and looks to regain momentum with voters. Alice Barr has more.
As voters head to the polls in 5 primary states today, the question is not who will win the Republican and Democratic presidential contests, but rather what these voters care about.
I didn't want to vote for Trump, so I just voted against him, basically.
It's immigration right now. It's out of control.
In Ohio, a Trump-backed Senate candidate is testing the former president's ability to drive voter turnout.
It made a big impact on me, and I want to support Trump.
Mr. Trump voting today in the Florida primary. On social media, he's lashing out over the $464 million civil fraud judgment against him for his company's business practices. He's struggling to find the money and has until Monday before the New York Attorney General could move to start seizing his assets. At the same time, the former president taking heat for his latest highly controversial comments.
Any Jewish person that votes for Democrats hates their religion, they hate everything about Israel, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
As many Jewish leaders forcefully push back, the White House issuing a statement saying, quote, President Biden has put his foot down when it comes to vile and unhinged anti-Semitic rhetoric, adding there is no justification for spreading toxic false stereotypes that threaten fellow citizens. President Biden campaigning today in Arizona, where voters are at the polls, and in Nevada, drawing a sharp contrast with former President Trump.
I never heard a president say the things that this guy has said, but the difference is he means them.
The Biden campaign announcing a new effort to engage and mobilize Latino voters, a critical voting bloc this November. While polls show many Americans prefer former President Trump over President Biden on immigration, Democrats in Arizona are trying to reframe the issue, pointing to that bipartisan border bill that the former president opposed and House Republicans blocked. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Texas will be allowed to enforce a contentious new immigration law while it works its way through the courts. In a ruling today, the Supreme Court rejected an emergency request by the Biden administration to put the law on hold. The law, known as SB 4, allows police to arrest migrants who illegally cross the border from Mexico. It would also empower state judges to order people to be deported to Mexico. The White House says the measure tramples on the federal government's authority to oversee immigration issues, but Texas Governor Greg Abbott says the law is necessary to protect Texas from what he calls a, quote, invasion. SB 4 could still be blocked at a later date. The 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals has not yet decided whether to grant the federal government's request to block the law. Hawaii County Police are asking drivers to slow down after a woman was killed in a crash Saturday. 80-year-old Diane Pittman of Keauhou was a passenger in a car that was hit head-on by a car that was speeding and overtaking vehicles on Daniel K. Inouye Highway. 3 men were also injured.
So the real issue is we need guys to follow the speed limit that are set in place and all the other current speed laws. And we're just going to focus on enforcing those and making sure that individuals are following those. Slow down, arrive alive, plan your trips. There's no need to speed.
Police have opened a negligent homicide investigation. So far, no arrests. The union representing Honolulu police officers is happy about a signing bonus for new recruits and looks toward keeping officers on the back end. Iolani Richardson tells us about an idea to help the staffing crisis that's gotten worse over the years.
Mayor Rick Blangiardi told Hawaii News Now Sunrise the $25,000 signing bonus for police recruits is a recruiting tool.
This is the largest recruiting initiative that we've ever done before, that this will help recruit our classes because we definitely need more patrol officers.
The bonuses would be paid over the course of training, and recruits must pledge to work for HPD for 3 years.
We're very delighted on this signing bonus. We appreciate Mayor Blangiardi committing, his resources to public safety.
The Honolulu Police Department has 437 vacancies, according to the police union. That's a more than 20% increase over last year.
We're at a dire crisis regarding staffing. Just 8 years ago in 2016, we were at 275. So we're about 250% an increase in vacancies just in 8 years.
The State of Hawaii Organization of Police Officers says the next step is to work on retention. They want to propose a deferred retirement option plan, or DROP. When an officer reaches 25 years, they can start collecting retirement, but continue working for up to 5 years.
When they're done, they'll be able to take that sum of money that was built up from their retirement and take it with them. But they'll still keep doing their job just like anything else and receive their current paycheck.
Shopo says there have been no formal discussions. As for the bonuses, the city says they'll start next month on April 22nd
as a police officer
with the 213th recruit class.
Now, Shopo says LAPD has had a deferred retirement option plan for years. It has about 9,000 officers, and 1,000 are on the plan, keeping them from retirement.
New rail work from Halawa to Kalihi will cause some disruptions on the roads near Pearl Harbor and the airport. The work is happening on the rail tracks along the line's next segment between Aloha Stadium and Middle Street. It won't disrupt Skyline service, but officials say there may be lane closures for roads in work areas. Area retailers who have already felt the impact of rail construction say it's just another blow to their business. They did get a bit of hope in January when the mayor signed a bill to give $10,000 in annual grants to qualifying businesses. Still, City Council member Tyler Dos Santos Tam, who co-sponsored the bill, admits it's a slow process.
So right now, the City Council is working through our budget process to put money into the fund. The other thing that needs to happen is the Department of Budget and Fiscal Services needs to put together the application form and also needs to come up with some of the rules further defining which businesses can apply.
The work is expected to take about a week and go from the hours of 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. The Rail Authority says crews need to clean and grind the rails before tests can begin.
Meanwhile, an Oahu-based construction company has bought the Pu'unene sugar mill on Maui. As our Chelsea Davis reports, the firm is still deciding what to do with the hundreds of acres of land.
So this is fun because it actually moves.
Tom Sewell takes discarded material from the old Pu'unene mill and turns it into art.
Everyone that comes into the mill I photograph here.
He says he needs to be out in about a week and a half because the mill now has a new owner, Non-Chul Shin. Shin also owns Non-Incorporated. The company specializes in large-scale construction and design projects, including the work to relocate facilities for rail on Oahu. Approximately 300 acres were purchased, and it consists of industrial, commercial, agricultural, and residential zone lands. Non-Inc's vice president said they have no set plans for the property right now, but plan to maximize the best uses of each property zoning.
We are looking at trying to utilize some of the residential area, try to encourage some maybe affordable housing there is one option we're looking at.
In a statement last week, Alexander and Baldwin said the sale is another step in A&B's evolution to simplify their core business as a commercial real estate company dedicated to serving Hawaii. When asked if they plan to tear down the mill, Matsubara reiterated they have no set plans.
We're going to probably have to do some substantial demolition of at least the interior machinery that was done for all the production. We're not going to be in the business of producing sugarcane or having that heavy-duty industrial operations.
Back inside the mill, although Tom has to relocate, he says he's hopeful the mill will have a promising future.
I visualize this as a great restaurant, bar, coffee shop, where people could sit in chairs inside of all this equipment. A fantastic arts district, spaces for artists, a museum, a gallery.
Matsubara said per their agreement with A&B, the price of the purchase is confidential. Reporting in Pu'unene, Chelsea Davis, Hawaii News Now.
Work is now underway on the $1.2 million roofing project at Iolani Palace. About 9,000 square feet of the roof will be replaced or repaired. The palace was opened in 1879 and has been showing its age.
When I came in almost 5 years ago, we noticed that it definitely
was leaking, and it had been for a while. They run around with buckets when it rains. And so we're re-roofing, doing everything where the slate area is. Where you see the wrought iron on the top, that's all going to be redone. The skylight will have new glass. It's leaking in certain areas there as well.
The funding comes mostly from state and federal grants. We're told the 6-month roof project will not affect Palace operations. A new company is pitching in to support a free hula show in Waikiki. This week, Southwest Airlines celebrated 5 years of Hawaii service, and today the company announced it's partnering with the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement to be a presenting sponsor of the revitalized Kilohana Hula Show.
It is undoubtedly true that the visitor industry benefits the economy of Hawaii, but also puts great burden and stress on the people in the land of Hawaii. So we believe it's very important to be able to make sure that the host culture not only is respected, but also benefits from the visitor industry, and the people of the host culture more directly benefit from the visitor industry. So we hope that this Kilohana Hula Show is just one of many to come that more directly supports Native Hawaiians in the visitor industry. So
the Kilohana Hula Show, presented by Southwest Airlines, is free and open to the public. It features top hula halau, including Merry Monarch winners. It runs weekly from Sunday to Thursday at 9:30 a.m. at the Waikiki Shell. The Waikiki Aquarium is celebrating a big milestone. Our Casey Lunn takes us there.
12 decades, 120 years, that's a long time for anything to be around, and we're so grateful and fortunate to have this as a resource in our community. The Waikiki Aquarium and Director Dr. Andrew Rossington, I want to thank you for being with us today to talk a little bit about this. It's a really momentous time to reflect on what this has meant, and really I think what we've talked about throughout the day is this is all about educating the public, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about the way that you're able to do that, especially now with the partnerships. Who are some of the folks that really bring some of the greatest minds in marine sciences right here to kids?
Yeah, well, obviously we're part of the University of Hawaii, so we've got direct access to all the expertise and knowledge that's there. We have great relationships with the folks at NOAA, Pacific Marine Sanctuaries, National Marine Sanctuaries, pretty much any organization in Hawaii that's interested in marine life, marine conservation and research, we interact with.
And so today's event, while fun and just a celebration really, it's part of a bigger picture of the future and celebrating the past, of course, looking forward to the future. As a matter of fact, there's always something changing at the aquarium. You guys are always looking to rebuild. This is
Absolutely.
Going to change at some point as well.
Yeah, one of our primary education tools is this exhibit here. It's a touch pool. Unfortunately, we've got a major construction project which will entail the destruction of this exhibit, and there are no funds available to replace it. So we'll be looking for money to build a new, better, more accessible exhibit here.
And I think one of the ways that, aside from large, generous donors, which I know that there have been several over the years, that everybody can support, is just by coming and checking out the Waikiki Aquarium.
Absolutely.
And very affordable to do so, by the way. If you want to learn more about the hours, everything that's going on here, they even host events at the Waikiki Aquarium. You can do that at hawaiinewsnow.com. We have a link to their website. For now, we'll send things back to you.
Thank you so much, Casey. And in fact, let's go to the live Waikiki Aquarium camera put on by Waikiki Aquarium and the University of Hawaii. A beautiful afternoon there in Waikiki, 78 degrees, 12:13 p.m. Just a very beautiful day, isn't it, Ash?
It is. Some clouds in the sky. We're going to have your full forecast with Guy Hagi after this quick break.
clouds later on this Tuesday. The weather's going to be just as beautiful as it was on Monday, and Wednesday is going to look as beautiful as it is today. The weather's not going to change much until we get to the weekend. More on that in a second. We do have some high clouds from a disturbance coming across the state. These high clouds, of course, won't bring in any rain. There are some lower level clouds embedded with a few showers, so we've got a few minor splashes this morning. Not much in the way of significant rainfall expected until maybe the weekend. So those trade winds will run steady. They'll be slow in picking up, but they'll run about 10 to 20 today in most spots, except, of course, for the Kona side of Hawaii Island. The winds will remain light and variable there. So we've got a beautiful trade wind weather day. Lots of sunshine after a few morning showers. Temperatures running to about 79, 80 degrees, and those trade winds helping to keep us cool at about 10 to 20 miles an hour. And because of those winds, it's still a little choppy on the east side. The current swell moving into north and west shores is on the decline, but another bigger swell is due in by tonight. So by the afternoon time, should be 9 to 12 in the country, 5 to 7 on the west side. And the waves in town, well, they'll be dropping. So we got beautiful, gorgeous weather on this first day of spring, and then it's going to linger through Thursday with firm trade winds. But the winds are expected to get stronger over the weekend, and when the winds get stronger, you can also expect a few more windward and Mocha showers.
Women can now buy a birth control pill online without a prescription. The FDA approved over-the-counter sale of Opill last July, and yesterday the company that makes the oral contraceptive made it available for purchase at opill.com and on Amazon. A 1-month supply costs about $20 and a 6-month supply sells for $90, though insurance may cover the cost. Doctors say the sale of this drug online is a game changer for women who lack access to health care.
So in the past, you had to go see your doctor to be able to get the prescription for contraception. And we all know that sometimes that's just not easy. So sometimes women live far away, takes a while to get an appointment, maybe don't have health insurance right now. And so this gives you a safe and effective option.
Drug maker Perrigo just recently started shipping Opill to CVS and Walgreens as well. The FDA says the drug is generally safe for most people who could get pregnant, and it's about 93% effective. Opill should not be used as an emergency contraceptive, and patients with breast cancer should not take it. With speculation swirling around Britain about Princess Kate's health, there's new video of Prince William's wife captured over the weekend. Remy Inocencio reports from Buckingham Palace.
Rumors of ill health put to rest. Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, smiled and walked with her husband, Prince William, sporting a baseball cap. This video, obtained by TMZ, shot in Windsor as the couple left a farm shop near her family home over the weekend.
I think the fact that Kate has been seen looking happy, healthy and active will hopefully dampen down some of the wilder speculation.
Roya Nika is royal editor for the Sunday Times.
It's a couple having private time, out and about, doing some shopping for their family. I think it puts paid to a lot of the more ridiculous conspiracy theories out there on social media.
Kate's return to public view comes less than a week after she apologized for digitally doctoring this family photo. Her last official engagement was Christmas Day, nearly 3 months ago. And with King Charles's public-facing duties suspended as he undergoes cancer treatment, the pressure's mounted on remaining senior royals to step up. Both Queen Camilla and Prince William continued to carry out public duties on behalf of the king.
How fast can Easter get here for the royals?
I don't really think they're thinking about it like that. Whether or not the Princess of Wales decides to do the walk to church on Easter Sunday, she may not. But I think, they're sticking to their schedule and still expecting to see her resume public duties after mid-April.
And Easter is key because Kensington Palace has always maintained that Kate would return to public duties only sometime after that holiday. CBS News has reached out to the palace, but there's been no comment while the royals are on their private time. Remy Inocencio, CBS News, London.
Construction crews in Paris are making significant progress in the reconstruction of the famous Notre Dame Cathedral. The iconic monument caught fire nearly 5 years ago, and now the scaffolding is coming off. CBS's Ian Lee shows us.
Notre Dame's crowning achievement is capturing hearts in Paris. The 900-year-old cathedral has shaken off its 600 tons of scaffolding to reveal a new spire. A time-lapse video shows the lead up to the grand reveal, which wowed these tourists from Wisconsin.
Nothing short of a miracle, considering all the damage.
It's nice to see it come back. Brings hope. Paris deserves that.
The world held its breath watching flames engulf Notre Dame in 2019. The medieval masterpiece largely survived, but the roof and iconic spire went up in smoke, leaving a gaping hole in the heart of the French capital. Builders have spent the last 5 years resurrecting the Lady of Paris. A golden rooster, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, adorns the new 300-foot spire, perched on a cross.
Once the spire was visible again, we got that same wow factor.
Officials hope to give tourists that same reaction when the cathedral's doors open at the end of the year. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
And in today's good news now, a piece of Hollywood film history is back where it belongs. Kent Erdahl has the story.
After more shocking twists than even the Wizard of Oz could have dreamt up, the rightful owner of these original ruby slippers finally got the reunion he'd spent 19 years waiting for.
They're in very good shape.
Michael Shaw owned the famed Hollywood props, one of just a handful of pairs in the world, for 35 years until they were stolen in 2005 from this very podium while on loan to the Judy Garland Museum in Grand Rapids.
How do I feel? It's like welcoming back an old friend that I haven't seen in years.
And it wasn't Shaw's only emotional reunion on that cold February day.
Just overjoyed and surprised. Everyone at the museum kept it a secret from me, so I was totally shocked when I arrived that day at the museum.
For museum curator John Kelsch, it's a much happier shock.
They were in a plexiglass case right here.
Than that fateful morning, which he relived for us and many others 10 years ago.
They broke in through that door. They smashed the window on that emergency exit door.
For years, he says the theft scarred the museum's reputation.
70% of the visitors ask, "Did you ever find the slippers?"
And after years of searching and even diving for answers, turned up nothing. Rumors and tensions between the two men at the center of it all grew.
Basically, Michael Shaw and myself became suspects. 60% of robberies are what they call an inside job. The public knows that, too.
That finally changed in 2018.
Under the rainbow.
When the FBI unveiled that the slippers had been recovered, but it took another 5 years before they charged 76-year-old Terry Martin for the theft. And his sentencing in late January of this year finally cleared the way for this reunion.
We want to formally return your shoes to you. We thought it was fitting that we do it here in the museum where they were stolen.
Just proud that they came home, at least for that short time.
Yes, the slippers have already left the building, being prepared for a public world tour with stops in LA, New York, London, Paris, and Tokyo before Heritage Auctions puts them on sale to the highest bidder in December.
Any word that those slippers will make another stop during this tour?
No, I think that's why they came to us first.
But if you think this is the end of the yellow brick road, think again.
This is really only the beginning. There's going to be motion pictures produced. There's going to be television, streaming documentaries.
Have you thought about who would play you in a movie?
No.
I won't be in the movie. John will.
God, I have no idea.
Yet to be determined.
Good to hear that those slippers are back home. And real quick, Ash, pop quiz.
Oh.
What were the original color of the shoes before color?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, tell me.
Silver. But then color film came along and they said, let's make those shoes pop and let's turn them ruby red.
I love
so
that.
Now you know,
I did
everyone.
not know that.
Yes. Thank you all so much for tuning into This Is Now. Let's end today with a live look out over Honolulu. Have a wonderful day.
Aloha.